Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Modernist Guide. Another heaping helping of music reviews. Metal Mayhem is back. Harder, better, faster, stronger. That's the plan anyways. I think I've figured it out. It's not going to be 20 minutes, I swear. 9 albums this time. And this is all the hits. All the real popular or super mainstream or digital radio playing hits. Got the most views on YouTube or listens on Spotify or wherever you get your shit. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Probably one of the most well-known mainstream metal bands right now, Bullet for My Valentine, 7th record, self-titled, and after what happened with Gravity, which came out a couple years prior, which was way more poppy and lots of clean singing, hardly any screams at all, barely metal, I guess, for a lot of people. I barely remember it. I wasn't super into it. I'm hardly into this band in general. This one is heavier, darker, quote unquote, denser, more aggressive, but it feels super reactionary. It feels like they got kind of pissy that everyone hated their previous record so much, so they went to the dark side. It feels kind of forced. A lot of the disparity here is like, how dare you make me do this kind of stuff. I thought of the phrase, look what you made me do, and that made me connect it to Taylor Swift's Reputation. So yeah, this is Bullet for My Valentine's Reputation. Take that what you will. I do like My Reverie and No Happy Ever After. For some reason, they just kind of keep clicking with me after 4 or 5 listens. I actually genuinely enjoy Can't Escape the Waves. That was one of the few songs that kept growing on me to the point where it kind of makes me feel a little better about myself. It's probably the only sorrowful song on here that doesn't feel made up. There's a song on here like Shatter, and I hate it, and it feels so just like whatever eye rolling emo bullshit without even the emo feel. Paralyzed isn't bad. 5.5 out of 10. I don't know. They're getting old and still upset that people won't let them do what they want to do. Figure it out, guys. Beartooth, the working man's hardcore band. This is, I believe, their 4th record, Below. It's good. It's straightforward. They're just super aggressive pub songs. They make you feel welcome. They feel like you would sing-song them super aggressively and aggro as possible in a community mosh pit. And that's just a good, kind of wholesome feeling while still being screamed at and still having very pummeling drums and crunchy guitar. So they just have charisma for days. Their lyricism works above most of their peers, which is half of the list on here. They just are charismatic to me, and I like them for that forever, even if it is all, very simple meat and potatoes metalcore. Devastation, The Past is Dead, Dominate, just because it's kind of like their most brutal song. That word's weird, isn't it? Brutal. Skin, I could sing for days, as well as I Won't Give Up. And then The Answer does some, melodic, layered singing that I'm super into. 6.75 out of 10. Maybe it should be a 7, but it's not creative enough as much as just really good and pure. Evanescence, The Bitter Truth. It's been like 7 years since they've had a record. It's been like 10 since they've had a proper metal-esque record. I think they finally figured it out. This is, the gothic metal stuff we're used to, but it's not super catchy. There's not a lot of hooks. However, Amy has figured out how to do the traditional, I think, orchestral songwriting and, solo performances like a musical soliloquy type thing. So the structure is different. This isn't your typical verse, chorus, rock song stuff for the most part. Some of it's there, but a lot of them feel really good because it almost feels like a metal opera without the overbearing parts. Like it really feels like, that moment where it's one woman alone singing her emotions at you in a very somber and deep, dense way. It just has really good drums and pretty decent guitar. However, that's about the only trick it has, so it's a 6.25, but I still appreciate that's not just another super run-of-the-mill alt-metal record. Check out Yeah Right, Feeding the Dark, Better Without You, Use My Voice. Far From Heaven is the soft ballad one. It should have been the ender, but there's 2 songs left. It's a cool ender song, though, if it was an ender song. End credits or something. But Blind Belief's pretty good, too. Next is Ice Nine Kills with Welcome to Horrorwood Silver Screen 2. I almost feel bad for like really hating these guys because they seem to just enjoy what they're doing, but it's so corny, and I don't use that word lightly because I don't believe in that word. I don't like words like corny or cringe or cheesy because it's overused for like everything you don't like. But I would specifically say for this because I think blood and guts hacky gore shit is kind of lame and uninteresting, and the musical form of it with these guys is no better. They're so run of the mill talent, but they struck gold with their first silver screen, which was just lyrically covering a bunch of horror movies. They did it again here. It's literally a sequel, but it's just so lame for the most part. And they don't do anything interesting musically except a few, thank God. Hip to Be Scared, which is the American Psycho one, at least does the Huey Lewis and the News kind of thing in the middle. Thank fuck. So that makes the song listenable. I can't tell you why Fly, which is based on the horror movie Fly from Jeff Goldblum, is good, but it is, and it's very catchy. It's almost like Haunting Sublime. No, I shouldn't say that. Worst Vacation is about Hostel. It sounds like Rammstein, but that makes it a improvement, so I like. Then Ex Mortis actually works. It is the Evil Dead, and they at least do the Evil Dead personality. Like they channel that charisma somehow, and it's kind of vaudeville and cabaret. You know, you know, it's more fun that way and kind of goofy in an enjoyable way. The other stuff just feels like they're super clever for referencing all these quotes and moments in movies, and I don't buy it. But those four songs, I'll bite. However, 4.75 out of 10. Next, we have the 10th record by Trivium, In the Court of the Dragon. And this is pretty much kind of like the previous record where they do a lyrical theme more than anything than changing up their sound. But there's a little bit of additional power metal stuff. The songs are a lot longer than normal. They feel like they're doing a more epic fantasy kind of feel without really pulling away from their roots. They're still pretty fast-paced pummeling, and it's okay. But lyrically, this is like a D&D campaign being sung to us, so that's kind of fun. It's not as like gaudy and overly extravagant as other actual power metal, so I think it gets by with almost creating a new way to do this. But because the songs are super long, I'm just gonna say check out Feast of Fire, No Way Back But Through, and I think Fall Into Your Hands may be one of the best songs they've ever written. So give that a check. And so 6.5 out of 10. Erra, their new self-titled, it's about their fifth record, is just really good. They know what they're doing in making really fast, dense, sleek gent metal. The head honchos had forever been Periphery, but I think Periphery's kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. And there's other bands that have been scraping and clawing and stuff. Sky Harbor was good back when they were around. Tesseract's not bad. Volumes is kind of okay. Just there's a lot out there reaching for that top spot, but I don't know. I think Erra should have it. Their vocals are really good, I think. They're the best kind of screams to me, where you can hear every word pronounced very well, and it's still gruff and harsh and visceral. I would call this like futuristic and kind of cybery, but instead of like glitchiness, it's just smooth liquid, like you know the liquid metal kind of shit from Terminator 2 kind of feeling. That's what it all sounds like together. It's just consuming you that way and suffocating and taking over, and it's good. It's a perfect balance. The problem is that it's still within the big safe zone of the genre. It's just so perfectly done. We've got a lot of favorites on this, honestly. Like half the record I enjoy. Snowblood, Divisionary, House of Glass, Electric Twilight, Lunar Halo are the best, and they're the most creative. And then Eidolon and Remnant are just smashes. Just great. Perfect solid 7.5. I think they're only just going to keep getting better and better because that's how it's felt with every record. They just get a little bit better. Not leaps and bounds, but it's just a slow but sure thing. Next, we have one of the most divisive big bands right now, which is Architects. This is like their 11th or 12th record. They've been around forever. They are metalcore kind of pioneers in the UK. They're just the big boys. And they've decided to copy Bring Me the Horizon. This is like only 5 or so months after Survival Horror came out in late 2020. And I was kind of into it. I was ready for it. I was fine. But Some of the lyrics are just kind of too bad. They're not good. Some of the production and singing style reminds me of Living Things era Linkin Park, and that's not super bad, but I don't think the aggressiveness works the way they want it to. Some of the more softer songs are interesting, but one of them, which I would say check it out if you haven't heard it, is Little Wonder. But the chorus has the word swallow in it, and it's 2021. You should know better. The internet has ruined the word swallow. You can't have swallow in your chorus. You can't. It's kind of a mess. I won't argue with anyone who says it is, but it's kind of a catchy and interesting mess. They are kind of experimenting. I think their next record, if they continue the sound, will fit better, maybe. Songs check out are Giving Blood, Dead Butterflies, An Ordinary Extinction, Fear Without Feathers, Little Wonder, Animals, and Meteor. You know, if you hate them all, I can't blame you entirely. 6.75 out of 10. Next is my personal favorite, so it's going to be ranked way higher than all the other ones so far, and that is Hyperactive by One Morning Left. They are a newer band from Sweden, I believe, and they're just silly, goofy party bros. There is a German band called Eskimo Callboy that's been around forever. They have this huge viral song right now called We've Got the Moves, and that's kind of what this is, but it's a whole record that came out like 4 or 5 months before that video did. So if you like that video, you should like this album. It's basically taking 80s hair metal, like the worst part of it, but making it really good. Like if Poison was as good as like Motley Crue. It's just fun and catchy metalcore, super colorful with a lot of synths, like really catchy synths. It's synths for days. I love synths and metal. I do. It's awesome. So it's just fun broness, but like ironically in a great way. I would suggest Ruby Dragon, Neon Highway, Drown God, and Downfall are their super hard ones, and they're kind of like what a UFC bro would come out to fight, but they're fun. I promise, kind of. Creatures, Live, Laugh, Love, and Worry Less, Dance More are also just favorites. And I can't stress enough how much I personally enjoy it, so it's an 8.5. That sounds high compared to everything else, but I can't help it. And last but not least, we have Sleep Token. Sleep Token has just skyrocketed right now. People are really into them. They are kind of a smooth, romantic R&B esque EDM style alternative metal band. So they're just heavy. The album is called This Place Will Be Your Tomb, and long story short, it's just really heavy Bastille. If you like Bastille, you ever thought Bastille should be like heavy and kind of metal-esque, then listen to Sleep Token. And if you like Sleep Token already and you hate Bastille, you might want to reconcile yourself. It's those kind of vocals. There's a lot of layering on here, very synth poppy and British electronic pop rock that's super popular over there right now, but with good guitar and deep, dense drums and murky space production. And it's good, but it kind of has too much weight for its foundation for me so far. This is only their second record. They have a lot to grow. It's fine. I'm going to give it a solid, just flat 7 out of 10 because I like the idea, and the songs I like get me really fast. Like, it's like, oh, damn, okay, that's really good. Even though it is still just heavy Bastille. That's really all it is. Check out Atlantic, Hypnosis, The Love You Want, Fall For Me, Alkaline, and Telomere. That's pretty much for this one. Hope you found something that you didn't know you wanted to check out or that you were going to skip, but now you're going to go look back. It's really all this video is for. So, like, share, subscribe, and as always, thank you for listening. Have a good night.